What if the bravest thing you could do today wasn't to fight harder, but to put down your armor and let the world touch your heart? In a time of nuclear anxieties, economic instability, social chaos, and private storms that can shake a person to their bones, there's a quieter, older tradition that offers a different kind of strength. It says a warrior isn't someone who wages war, but someone courageous enough to live in peace, right here, right now, in the middle of all this. That tradition is the way of the warrior, rooted in a primordial human wisdom that doesn't belong to East or West, or to any one culture or shrine. It's as old as humanity itself, appearing wherever people remembered that being fully human is itself an act of bravery. So what is a warrior? Anyone who is genuinely interested in listening to the truth, looking honestly at themselves, or practicing meditation can be one. A warrior is heroic and kind at the same time. That might sound impossible in a world so ready to polarize us into attack or retreat, but the warrior's path cuts straight through that confusion. When we feel under threat by headlines or by our own thoughts, our instinct is to shrink, to build a cocoon where we can be alone, safe and unseen. The warrior sees that impulse clearly, then steps past it. If we don't step forward for the world, who will? It's our turn. Not tomorrow, not when life is perfect, but now. The place to begin is simple and uncompromising, our own lives. The warrior's premise is that we can't help awaken society unless we discover what we already have to offer. That discovery doesn't come from grand theories. It comes from examining our daily experience to see what's truly there. If we look with fair eyes, without self-flattery or self-hatred, we find that despite our problems, mood swings and doubts, there is something fundamentally good about being human. The warrior starts by recognizing this basic goodness within, and then learns to express it without fear. Without that ground, trying to help others becomes a performance we can't sustain. With it, help becomes natural. How do we touch that goodness? Not by forcing positive thoughts or trying to believe our way into a better feeling. We train in the most ordinary, radical discipline there is, meditation. Sit down on the ground, take a good posture. Feel your body as an honest fact. Breathe and let your mind and body come into sync. We're not here to think about something or chase a trance. We're here to be without second agendas. Thoughts come, let them come. Thoughts go. Let them go with the out-breath, the way clouds slide across a wide sky. You don't have to kill your thinking. You don't have to fix your feelings. Just sit like a warrior, upright, present, unornamented. From that simple act, a sense of dignity begins to bloom. Not a tight dignity that pretends to be perfect, but a relaxed decency that doesn't need to hide. In practice, you may glimpse a mind that isn't pushed around by hope or fear, a mind not swayed by the high and low tides of thought. That glimpse is the glow of basic goodness. It's not a religious experience, it's direct contact with reality as it is. Being alive begins to feel wonderful again. Colors are vivid, cold is cold, heat is heat, tangy is tangy, sweet is sweet. These are not distractions, they are proof you belong in this world. When you appreciate what's given, this breath, this body, this moment, you don't want to trash it. You take care of your mind and your surroundings because they're sacred by virtue of being real. This is how we rediscover ourselves, not by ideas about life, but by returning to life as it stands. We stop trying to be special and learn to be genuine. We admit our awkwardness, our shyness, our pride, our warmth. We hold nothing outside the circle of honest attention. We develop a friendliness toward our own experience so stable that even our complaints quiet down. We notice we don't have to be at war with ourselves. And when we're not warring within, our generosity wakes up. We feel capable, resourceful enough to open to others, to extend ourselves, and to give without drama. The point is training, not theory. Learn to treat yourself better so you can treat the world better. When self-respect is alive, chaos loses its grip. Living from basic goodness lends the day a spacious elegance. You can be relaxed without being sloppy, humble without being small. You stop blaming the world for not making you comfortable and discover that you can be comfortable with the world. You don't need to prove your worth. You can tell the plain truth without decorating it or weaponizing it. You can be a person. That's the warrior's acceptance, not self-importance, but self-honesty. When you accept that, you stop being scared of being alive. About fearlessness, most of us imagine it as a clenched jaw, a stiff back, a readiness to hit back harder. That's street toughness. The warrior's fearlessness is something more paradoxical. It is born of tenderness. Fearlessness arises when you let the world tickle your heart. It's what happens when your heart is uncovered and you're willing to feel life without a buffer. There's a natural sadness in that. Fullness so intense it could spill into tears. Not self-pity, but an overflowing like a cup filled to the brim. In the warrior, sadness and courage grow together. In the beginning, that tenderness can feel unfamiliar, like antlers first budding on a deer, soft and rubbery, more potential than power. Over time, as you learn to be at ease with decency and gentleness, the antlers harden. Your courage becomes resilient, less like a fragile porcelain cup and more like wood-lacquered layer upon layer. Drop it, and it doesn't shatter. Courage becomes supple and strong at once. As tenderness ripens, the world grows vivid. Sound becomes crisp, color saturated, textures alive. You hear the leaves clatter, the rain drum your jacket, the hush between words. You see other people's tears and laughter and fear, and you respond, not with cleverness, but from the heart. Your senses become instruments of connection. With that sensitivity, the warrior takes the next step, renunciation. We usually picture renunciation as denying ourselves pleasures until we transcend the world. But here, it means something else. Giving up anything that blocks you from others. Renunciation for the warrior is setting down your private cocoon. It's removing the hesitation to be available. For the sake of others, you relinquish your addiction to me-first comfort. The selfish life is like a turtle carrying its house everywhere. At some point, you step out. You embrace a bigger world. And yes, that requires a leap. Imagine you, in a swimsuit, standing on a diving board over a pool. At some point, the thinking has to end. You jump. There's no guarantee you won't belly flop, but you jump anyway, because discovery matters more than control. That leap is courage. After you jump, there's a danger of puffing up. Look at me, I did it. That's the ego taking credit for the heart's work. The warrior sidesteps that trap by becoming even gentler, softer, more accessible. He or she refuses new armor and lets the skin stay thin, bones and marrow exposed, the heart uncovered. Paradoxically, this radical availability can make you more alone. It's the solitude of an island in a lake. Boats come and go, visitors laugh and cry, but the island remains itself. The warrior's life is devoted to others, yet the fullness of your experience is yours alone. That's not a tragedy. It's the condition that lets you love the world without needing it to echo you back. It's a love affair with reality, entwined with a tender solitude. Keep in mind, the warrior's path doesn't promise a fantasy land with no blood or nightmares. We don't escape Earth for a more painless planet. We live here now, as it is. How many times have you turned away from yourself, afraid of what you'd find? How many times have you sedated your own aliveness with headlines, shows, and compulsions, anything but the naked texture of your life? The warrior's wisdom provokes you to look at how you actually live, how you comb your hair, how you wash a bowl, how you speak, how you stand, how you leave a room. These small gestures aren't trivial. They are extensions of your sanity. Examine them, enter them, and the ordinary reveals reality. We reconnect with the simplicity of now. As children, we didn't want to escape reality. We wanted to touch it, taste it, learn how it worked. That original curiosity is still here, under the dust. To rediscover it, look back, not far in time, but one step before your next thought. Before your narrative begins, there's a clear mirror quality to mind, a fresh openness. Touching that is a matter of relaxing, not collapsing, but setting down the anxious commentary. In meditation, you don't take sides. You don't praise or blame your thoughts. You let everything be as it is, and discover you can be as you are too. In that impartial clarity, the present appears immaculate, uncontrived and new. You taste the unconditional. When you stop dividing experience into for me and against me, when you see without propping up your identity, you touch what some traditions call egolessness. It's not a blankness. It's the end of constantly defending and referencing yourself. The warrior isn't scared of that emptiness. The coward is terrified by it. In silence, the coward invents ghosts. In darkness, he invents what might attack him. He needs points of reference to feel safe. And when none appear, he manufactures them. The warrior learns to rest without a reference point. Neutral, unqualified presence is not a problem to be solved. It's a homecoming. This is where the path takes its most daring turn. You expose your heart as if it were an open wound. Most people wait until the skin has sealed to show what they've been through. The warrior turns outward with the wound open. No armor, no second agenda, nothing to gain, nothing to lose. Just the pulse of living offered to the world. Over time, your world becomes vast. As it expands, self-centered concerns feel more and more remote. You find yourself less compelled to force outcomes. You rest in a confidence that doesn't lean on praise or fear blame. Your journey opens like a flower, not because you push, but because you stop pushing. In this flowering, the warrior discovers a crucial shift. You don't merely possess basic goodness, you are basic goodness in human form. Training becomes the art of returning to that simplicity over and over, in traffic and in grief, in delight and in boredom. The discipline is moment-to-moment genuineness. Every situation presents a chance to practice being real. When you let go properly, you can relax and enjoy. Hostile or friendly, the world finds you soft, steady, and clear. Your mind is less crowded. You're not seduced by trivialities. Your awareness edits out what dims wisdom's view. You stop bending yourself to fit situations. Instead, situations find their place in your presence. This quality magnetizes, but it isn't mere charisma. It's the quiet power of someone who has unlearned the habit of clutching and rests in an inexhaustible stream of energy. That power comes from relinquishing comfort and loosening the fixed mind. It shines through a person whose inner posture doesn't rise and fall with applause or criticism. You don't need to prove anything. You stand in harmony with yourself and your world, and that harmony speaks for you. Quick pause, because I want to hear from you. What does courage look like in your life right now? Tightening your armor or opening your heart? Drop your answer in the comments. Your reflections may help someone else. And if this exploration resonates, consider liking this video and subscribing so we can keep practicing this together, steadily, honestly, week by week. The basic wisdom of the warrior is both humbling and uplifting. We can live a good, meaningful human life here. We may not instantly change the world's storms, but by opening to the world, we discover that kindness, decency, and bravery are available, not as special events, but as our native weather. When we dare to proclaim the dignity of human life, without arrogance, without hesitation, the ordinary glows. That proclamation requires confidence, the kind that doesn't depend on a badge or a belief. It's not confidence in something, it's confidence as such, a lightness, a readiness to laugh, a sense of humor that keeps us from turning spirituality into a grim chore. So keep the humor, keep the warmth, and keep training. We learn to be fearless by feeling more, not less. We learn to be confident by resting on nothing again and again until that rest is as natural as breathing. In that state, vigilance and intelligence arise together. You become decisive without being harsh, disciplined without being rigid. You feel a clean authenticity, an assurance you're not fooling yourself or anyone else. That certainty comes from standing again and again on the ground of basic goodness. From there, you meet challenges with an open mind and a steady hand. The meeting itself becomes satisfying. The act of showing up wholeheartedly is its own kind of joy. That is how a warrior conquers the world, not by domination but by presence, by refusing numbness, by caring more than is comfortable, by letting tenderness be your strength and wisdom be your guide. Start where you are, put your own house in order, speak truth plainly, attend to the dish in your hand and the person in front of you. Sit down, breathe, and train, in the posture of someone who belongs here, because you do. Trust the mirror-like freshness just before your next thought. Trust the emptiness that needs no label. Trust the sadness that shows your heart is alive. Trust the humor that keeps you light on your feet. Trust that basic goodness, because it is you. When you live this way, the world turns luminous, not as an escape, but as a reality fully met. You won't need to announce your worth. You won't need guarantees. You'll feel the quiet wealth of a human life well used and the energy to keep offering yourself gently and bravely to all beings. That is the way of the warrior.